Hi Golden Eagles, Jim Call here at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, where the Minnesota Twins are visiting with the Houston Astros today. And this morning I've got the great pleasure of visiting with Golden Eagle legend Brian Dozier. As you'll recall, Brian was a senior leader on our 2009 College World Series team, and he's enjoyed a great career over the past half decade with the Minnesota Twins. So we're going to talk to Brian a little bit about his Southern Miss career, his time with Minnesota, and what we can expect out of Brian over the next few years. So I really hope you enjoy our visit. Well, thanks for taking the time to visit with us this morning, Brian. And Twins are having a good year. There's a lot of reason for the Twins fans to be looking at the standings in late July. So talk about the season so far.
Yeah, it's been great, to be honest with you, especially where we were at last year, quote unquote. You know, being very candid here, the worst team in baseball, and then the turnaround that we had. Right in the mix of things right now after the All-Star break. And, you know, we even talked about it a couple of days ago, just the fact that you have meaningful games down the stretch now, and that makes a world of a difference. And we're playing good baseball. We're still very young, but we're very talented. And it's the first time in my career, my 6 years up here, that I feel like we have real meaningful games down the stretch. And but everything's going well right now.
Here's a drive to straightaway center off the bat of Dozier. And that is gone.
This is my 6th year up here. Time flies. You know, and the older I get, just the mentality changes every year, and I feel like it gets better and better of how to take care of my body in order to, you know, sustain success or whatever you want to call it throughout the course of a long season. And this year's been kind of the same. You have your ups and downs, but you still try to find ways to be productive that day. And I think one of the biggest things that I've learned throughout my career is take what the game gives you. You know, if you'd have told me that in my first few years, then I'd have said, whatever. You know, we'll see how it goes. But then, and what I mean by that is, you know, take your singles, take your walks, take your, you know, if you go 0 for 4 or 5 or whatever, you know, take those little things within the game. Might just be a play that day that helps the team win, but take those things along the way, and they stack up. And stats and all that.
Pitches inside, and Dozier is in with a stolen base.
Infante with that high.
What's it like playing in Pete Taylor Park?
Pete Taylor. It was good. A great hitting ball yard, too. I loved hitting there. But, you know, the one thing that I loved, you look around our conference and where we would travel to and stuff, and then you go back home and just see the attendance that we had. That was all these big things, especially my freshman year when you play in front of 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people. That was kind of the thing for me. That even when you go to the Rices and Mississippi States and Alabamas and Ole Misses and stuff like that, and you see them match, if not even more than, you know, SEC baseball and that kind of thing. That our attendance and our fan base was pretty much off the charts. And even now, you know, I talked with Tyler Duffy, who played at Rice, and Anthony Rendon and stuff, and they said, "Oh, Hattiesburg, that was our favorite place to come to, man." He said, just the amount of people and the energy and the, you know, the roost and everything. And he said, so it's obviously it's not just myself that loves it. So.
As a communications person, we're always interested in what are people's perceptions of the university.
Yeah.
So if I were to ask you what Southern Miss is, what is Southern Miss to Brian Dozier? How would you describe it?
Well, it's family, number one. You know, it takes me back to, you know, I had amazing coaches with Coach Palmer, Coach Berry, Coach Burroughs, Kai, a lot of guys. And I can vividly remember plenty of times where it was kind of always an eye-opening experience, like, hey, are we playing baseball here, or are we talking more about life? And, you know, as a college kid, you always, you know, you get caught up in the baseball and all having fun and doing all this kind of stuff. But now that you look back at it as you get older and stuff, that they really invested in you as a person, and rather than just being a player, you know. And you see that a lot nowadays. You get caught up in everything around sports and athletics, and, you know, day in and day out, just worrying too much about that, rather than investing in you as a person, as a man. And that was the biggest thing for me.
Here, Brian Dozier showing off his Gold Glove capabilities right there with a great diving catch to his left, and getting up quickly and getting Kinsler at first base. Great defense.
I mean, you've been here 6 years.
Yeah.
You've done some amazing things in Major League Baseball. But what about the next 4, 5, 6 years?
Well,
What are the goals?
the thing for me, I'll be a free agent after next year. But in my 6 years, I've never made the postseason. And a lot of my good friends have. They come from different teams, and I've never experienced that. And that's the biggest thing for me. And as you get older, at the beginning stages, you want to try to establish yourself and as an everyday player to remain up here for however long you want, blah, blah, blah. You figure things out. At the end of the day, it all comes back to winning. And I haven't done that. 2015, we got a taste of, coming down to the very last game, try to get in the postseason. And that was the season flew by just like that because you're having fun. Last year was quote unquote miserable at times, and this year is completely opposite. But winning and getting into the postseason is kind of where I'm at.
Well, anything else that you want to
No.
add for the folks back home?
No, absolutely, it's been good.
In Hattiesburg?
It's been
Okay.
really good.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking the time to visit with us.
I appreciate it.
And as always, I always want to say, Southern Miss,
To the top.
excellent. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.